Hey, this is Quinn James, and welcome to Word Games with Volocris. I am playing in North American expert Ben Schoenbrun, who has just recently decided to switch to Collins. He played some Collins against me casually in my tournament in Atlanta that I was at a week and a half ago, where I actually did pretty well. I went 14-8 and I cashed, and I'm very happy about that. But anyway, After Hours was the most fun game that I had against Ben. We almost broke 1,000 points, and it was just wild. So I'm really looking forward to playing him again, although I don't know if we're going to have that many fireworks. This opening rack seems pretty standard, that Bimata would be the play, plural of Bima. You could play Beta, and it'd be slightly more defensive, keep AM. But I don't think that that is worth it. Okay, so I'm probably not going to get parallels like this, like almost certainly not. And if I do, then it probably means that Ben's double-doubled through this E, so I'm probably in trouble either way. This W only goes on this side. The K only goes on this side. That limits things. Ben apparently streams sometimes on Twitch. I don't know if he's streaming this game. I'm certainly not watching. I'm not a scumbag. But that's why I don't stream, actually, though, because a lot of the people that I play, I have no idea if they're scumbags or not. I have no idea. For all I know, they might decide to, like, and I know the vast majority, probably everybody that I actually have played is probably a perfectly nice person. I'm not saying you're not. But I don't know if somebody's just going to show up and just log in on another account or something and observe and just start cheating off my stream. So I don't stream. I just record. It's a little easier anyway. So I did get paralleled, but it's not too bad. Only 25 points. I'm still leading by 1. I have a spot for Hauk here, making the Collins only word awk. I believe it's Collins only. It's new either way. I think. It's a word. Let's leave it at that. Hauk can also go here. This is less defensive than it looks because a T can go here, and you can play, TH, or of course there's even less defensive than it looks, which the J and the Z obviously go here for big points. So it already doesn't look that defensive, but it's slightly worse than it looks. Ka is a word. All HKW take actually this, so I'm looking at other. Walk is a possibility. This takes the S, and it also takes an A in the back. That's not super ideal. However, the leave is slightly better because I'm preserving that H. This takes a C in front, by the way. it's still like, it's not like in the S in the back here, but it's still not like super offensive. It's kind of neutral. 7 extra points keeps the H. I think I have to choose this. I mean, if I was playing against somebody that I knew did badly on closed boards specifically, then I might actually consider playing Hauk. But you know, honestly, the time that I played Ben, weekend before last, was the first time I've played him in many, many years since I switched from TWL back to Collins in December of 2010. So I don't really remember what he plays like, and I don't think I played him all that much even then. So to some extent, I just kind of have to figure out as we play, how he's going to react to stuff. Do I have a double-double through this AWE? I don't think so. They have a bingo. That I'm not certain about. I'll leave that. Remember to check again later in the turn. Latah's a thing. I want to dump this U, though. I don't like this U. The two worst tiles in this otherwise excellent shell rack are the U and the L. What about just exchange U? This is one of those situations. This looks like a good bingo rack. I'm going to go through. Kenji has this sort of quick mnemonic device that you can do. You go through the letters, and for a 6-tile leave, you go through the letters in bingo, and if you hit on at least 3 of the 5, it's likely that it's a good thing to keep. That's just the first filter. I usually try to go through all of them. But yeah, this hits with the I for Halites Heliast, with the O for Loathes, with the N for Hantles. And I think it hits with a B, but I'm having a hard time remembering what the 7 is in that. But I think it hits with that too. It doesn't hit with an A though. No, wait, it does. Altheus. Loads. It doesn't hit with an E, I think. Or is this good? I haven't been reviewing 7s. I've been reviewing mostly 8s lately. Yeah. Plachette with a P. Lathers. It doesn't easily double up except with that A. And a lot of the rest of the tiles at the end of the alphabet it doesn't work with. So, and regardless of whether those 2 words that I was unsure of hit, especially the E one, I still think it's not worth exchange U right now. It's easier to do that at the beginning of the game, but if I exchange U, I'm giving up some opportunity to control the board and stuff like that. I'm up by 12. Hui is also a strong play. Slate is a pretty strong leave. Not the strongest leave in this, but it's strong. This is bad. This is less bad, but Lust is, even though there's a little bit of synergy here, I'm just not sure creating this new hook, and I'm just not sure the 28 points is worth it here. Hula is pretty solid. This does take a U at the end. Actually kind of liking hula. Hui is tempting, but it doesn't do anything to the board that is particularly helpful to me, other than maybe sort of interfering with this. And honestly, like, first of all, I'm not sure Benji knows Kawau. I think he's only just started studying Collins. It may not come up, but... And, you know, this can get paralleled with some things. If he has an M, I'm in some trouble. But EST is a good leave. It's not as spectacular as some of the things that I could leave in this rack. But it's better than Hui, and it's better than Hay or Hat, or yeah, it's better. It is better than Hat because Toad and things like that. This AE, by the way, doesn't take any hooks. Kawa does take S and U. So that doesn't really, but it does give me one step closer. If there is an S or a U hook, I can probably go to this triple. So it's a little bit better on counterplay, even though the bingo also scores more. So that's kind of even. I think on balance, hula is just the best thing that I see. Okay, so gay and yage, the new word, are a couple things that are on this rack. Things I'm immediately looking for, like ways to play off those things, because there's no 7. There's no 7. There's no way there's a 7, and I'm fairly sure that there's probably maximum of 1 8, and I may not know it anyway. Because I'm good at 8s, I sometimes spend time searching for them when it's unlikely there even is one. And even when, I know Mechanic doesn't do this, but a lot of times with anything that could conceivably bingo, I'll just start going through letters, even letters that are not actually on the board on my opponent's turn, just to see, you know. Because it can save me a lot of time, you know. If my letter that I want suddenly appears, my decision is usually pretty quick. I'm not feeling this. Ugh takes an S. Not really feeling this either. Just obviously because it plays from here. Although it's not as bad as a lot of similar plays would be, because it's kind of hard to overlap this for points. The most obvious thing that would go here to make a 3 that's a high point tile is the K, but you can't make a 2-letter place that starts with something and ends with the K. So that's completely worthless. It would be something like ob. Would be the worst thing. And it'd probably just give me way more points for if I want to play that, though. Weirdly enough, this is a P setup or a K setup. Potentially. It might just be the best thing that Ben has. It also has more points for JO and BOH, but I don't know if I can infer anything about that, because I don't even know if Benji has studied this Collins 3 yet. I'm sorry if I'm being insulting on here, but I literally do not know, you know, what you have studied, so I can't necessarily infer rock solid that you're setting up. Well, the K's already played, but the 1B that's out. I can infer that you're probably sitting on a pretty good rack, else Joe wouldn't have been better than an exchange. So that does kind of make me not want to play a play like Gay, because it's most dangerous to bingo racks. Well, a fair number of bingos begin with G. Most bingos that have G's are either going to begin or they're going to end with G. that makes Yag look a little better also, because I don't know if Ben has... Ben is probably less likely to have high point tiles other than the B after Joe, and BOI is a word. And so... You know, I know he's at least seen the Collins threes, because I gave him my cheat sheet, and you know, had to print out another one. I don't actually know if he took it or what happened, but I forgot to get it at the end of that and had to print out another one. Now I'm going through and crossing out things again. Anyway, so my time's starting to get a little low. Basically, the debate is between Gay and, which is a little risky after my opponent's last play, and Yag here, which is normally more risky, but after my opponent's last play, it starts to look more attractive. I think I'm doing this. Excellent. I have a bingo stealing. It also plays here, but it's not even worth considering. Benji does take the spot. He does have the B, which does not surprise me. It's the only high point tile that he was more likely to have than not. I don't think this is an 8, so I just don't know if there's any debate. Like, what other spots would there even be? I think stealing just goes down. Oh, cool, I draw a Q with no U. That's always what you want, right? Oh, I also forgot about the H. Wait. That was a little silly to forget about that. That would also be a tile that Benji might have, although then I have to go back through and see if, you know, if there are JH plays that whatever that would have contradicted that. It's a past turn, so I'll focus on the now. Is a length in TWL? Does Benji know that word? I wonder. It's harder for me to exploit, you know, a new Collins player when I don't know what's in Collins and what isn't. A little bit of a limitation on that particular factor. This does feel like a turn though where I would probably not want to exchange, where I'd probably want to try and play off some tiles. This preserves the H. The M goes here too, the P. Actually, I forgot about a bunch of things. The M goes here, the P goes here. I wasn't taking that spot seriously, so I was more concerned about the effect that the spot would have on plays starting with the G, so I didn't analyze it as well as I should have. But now that spot is dangerous, so now I really actually do have to look at it. I don't have great plays there, though. I have held for 28, which could actually be the play. What I don't like about it is just, like, that it leaves these lanes open, which are pretty easy to bingo through. If I play Glent, actually, that even disrupts this lane. Though it creates a new one over here. Length does take a Y at the end, but there's no Y's out. It takes an S as well. So yeah, a length is probably a bad idea. This is a play. Normally there's a little bit of synergy with HQT. Draw things like Quoth, Queeth. But on this board there's not very many places for those things to go, so it's not as much of a consideration. You know, held is just like... all of these other plays either sacrifice way too much, like Lent sacrifices 12 points. Like, they either do that or they just, like, have huge flaws like Length does. So I think I have to play held. And just hope Benji doesn't bingo immediately. Well, it does bingo immediately, but it was in a completely different lane from the one I was paying any attention to, so... kind of a wash, I guess. Kind of moot. I don't think I want to play Gurnet keeping Q. I don't think that's a thing that I want to do. Cat is okay. I don't love keeping this U back. Could play something like Queen, which if not for this spot that Benji just opened up would be perfect. But I feel like I have to address the spot now. I feel like just letting it sit there isn't good for me. And the one advantage of keeping this Q back is that now I can make plays that start with a Q. I could even have bingo draws into things like queering. So I think I'll just play a cot. Oh god, does Gunji compare? I know Gunji is a word. With an R as re-urging. The D is unrigged. Well, the Gunjiest would be guesting, and I don't know that guesting has an anagram. It doesn't feel like it would have an anagram. But if it's new, I wouldn't know, because since the dictionary came out, I haven't gone that deep. I'm not going to get to play Gunjir anyway, so it's moot. Repugning almost fits. It almost fits. Look how close it is to fitting. It doesn't fit, though. Niger is solid. Scores. Keeps garbage, but fine. At this point, I kind of have to accept that. And plus the U is useful. It's still useful. I'm just not going to bingo here. Oh, wait a second. Uve is a word. So I could fish like this. Maybe this? Because look at all those R's out. Unfortunately, the Q bingo lane is still like the best lane. So this is a hard decision on that. Like, Niger versus Ugg. If my opponent plays down there, then I'll have an opportunity to bingo back. There's still this T. It's really just, do I play Ugg or Rug? Since I'm only drawing 2 tiles, my odds of duplicating this R are not that high, and the R is still a better tile than average in this pool. So I think I'll just play Ugg. Okay, well, Xing is available for 39, which keeps me pace with Benji, basically. Do I have a bingo? Don't believe I do. This isn't such a good lane. The lanes that exist are not so good. And if I do play Xing, then I'm closing this T lane. Whereas I can do things like extend Xing. I don't love this S hook either, but none of it really seems like enough to make me do something like playing Niger this turn, because this X is just still out. And I don't have time to look for more plays. This is still not a bingo as it stands. I wish there was something I could do to make this a little bit more dynamic, but there kind of isn't. It's just a thing. It's a lane that's hard to hit. It exists. Well, I can go to Xing. Fed Xing, there's 2 Fs out and 1 D. I do not have them. Desexing. Annexing. Anything with these R's? So far, these are all hard to hit. Well, re-annexing, I guess. Man, I really wish Frippon fit here. It doesn't. I'll just play this. Kill the S hook. My opponent will probably score up here. I have a decent shot at hitting something. And I do. I hit prettier. The bingo I've played late in one of my previous videos on this channel, I believe. Technically, Preterit is also available, which might be harder to, which might be the better bingo actually, because it's a lot harder to respond to. Because of this D, like this, you can't even bingo through this R, and you know, good luck bingoing it through this P. The only downside is, am I going to get outscored with the Z and all this other stuff with this F up here? Pettier is the 7. I cannot play Pettier right now, and I doubt I'm going to get it. I may not even get this. My opponent may just block. if my opponent blocks, then I probably want to go up here and address this, because I don't really want Fez getting plunked down for 45. Which I feel like was the point of the play, whether Benji had a Z sitting, whether Benji had a Z sitting at the time or not. I feel like that's why he made it. I think of this as a word. It probably won't matter. Spit-in is definitely a word. Which doesn't help. This is epitrite to an E. There's other there's sevens. Pittered. Why is he talking to me at the pool? He knows, like, why is he talking to me about the pool? Maybe he's feeding me misinformation. I'm playing a game. Like, I have to, like, consider, like, he's not feeding me misinformation, but I can't take this seriously. I have 4 minutes on my clock. I can't take it seriously that he thinks the pool is good. And for all I know, he's sitting on double blank Z, and the print pool isn't all that good. There's no way that I can actually incorporate that information, because I don't trust it at all. I'm pretty sure this is a thing. I'm not so sure this is. This could be an endgame play. Ace Servuli plus S. Does this seem right? But yeah, only one bingo each for us at this point. Though I would be, you know, it's probably sub 20% odds that those are all the bingos that get played in this game. Let's stand up for a second so I can get a better look at the ISC boards. For some reason, that helps sometimes. And also just kind of stretch my legs, you know. There could be, depending on what happens these next couple turns, there could be an end game. There could be going down to the last second here. Please just play like a phony or something. That would be very nice of you if you did that. This is way better than ER, obviously. I'm just going to check to make sure I'm still on the internet. Benji's been playing so fast, and now he's using all his time. To try and figure out what I'm doing, I guess. Hopefully he's not sitting on double blank and just trying to pick the best bingo. That would be fun. Okay. So what do I want to do? Do I want to play prettier? Or do I want to play Preterite? Preterite scores 64. Now that Fairy's gone down, there's 0 way to block to bingo through it. However, it is possible to block alongside it. If I play Prettier here, obviously I could theoretically get tripled on. If it's not a triple, it's very hard for my opponent to bingo there. Bingos that start with this owl can still fit. Bingos that start with ID, with something hooking id, however, will not fit unless they go through this R. An additional downside of Prettier is that zips can play through this P for a bingo score. All those factors are making me lean towards Preterite. There is an additional option of like not bingoing and trying to be the last one to bingo, but with these double blanks in the pool, like that just doesn't seem like a good strategy. Feels like the only strategy here is like, I hope you don't have a bingo. Please don't have a bingo. Or with Prettier, it's please don't have blank Z. Because I think I lose to blank Z. So God, I just gotta play Preterite and pray. And I think my prayers were answered. I did get both blanks. My opponent has a Z, but it can't do anything better than Plunk Fizz. Hence the desperation challenge. No, it might not be desperation. It might be Collins. Yeah, wow, expert level tile drawing. But you know, with the pool from my perspective, like this is definitely a possibility, and it's obviously not the best thing I could have drawn. I could have drawn the Z, but I'm betting Benji was sitting on it anyway, so he's not thinking that in terms. He's just thinking I really lucked out, and I kind of did. But even if my opponent had like one of the blanks and like whatever had some things and had something that looked pretty good, if they're not sitting on a literal bingo or a huge Z play that I've given them, then he's not winning. Like, he's just not. So I got more lucky than I probably needed to be, but yeah. Time to figure out the best way to play out. This is obviously a winning play if I just panic and can't find anything. Wait. I do have two. Yeah, I have 2 blanks. So yeah, this works. That's better. They can't really do anything because not enough tiles from that F. This, yeah, I was trying to make something happen, but it's actually 6 tiles, so that actually doesn't help. Yeah, okay. All right, everyone. Just came down to the run of tiles at the end. Let's see what I missed. Nothing here. I saw the two best plays equity-wise. And again here. But yeah, he'll see when he watches the video what the pool was like from my perspective, but it was a little different. Halt is a thing. That's not a thing I considered. The spot isn't great, but I had forgotten the words, so nice little reminder. Did find the best place for stealing. Yeah, like again, I considered queen plays like that. Wanted to address this. Yeah, that's nice. I was wondering if anything went with like, but I forgot to like split it like prefix suffix. Overall, that makes some sense. But like, yeah, thinking like words that like at a just some random consonant split, fe wawe or some bizarre whatever. Yeah, just wasn't parsing it right. Though I don't think I'm the one who had that. Oh, that was him this turn. Yeah, okay. So there's more lucrative places to pay. 13C. Oh, nice, Hengi. That's really cool. Not sure that that's what I want to do because I don't have a Z, and UG has the advantage of blocking this Z that I don't have from going off with Zo or whatever for big points. Some other choices besides intro, I could have played inro. I could have played nitro. Draw one more tile. It's probably better. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. At least with inro. At least with inro, I'm keeping an extra bingo tile, but I'm not sure if that's actually the right thing to do for the 5-point sacrifice. And those were the only two bingos, Prettier and Preterite. If I'd played Prettier, then my opponent would have had zips for 22, 25, for 75 points. And since I was sitting on C and our blank, Um, I might have been able to. I might have been able to make that up, but it certainly wouldn't have been as easy. All right, I'm putting this one to bed. Thanks for watching. Had a lot of fun this game, and you know, did get a little bit of time pressured just from the commentary, and that made me talk a little faster and made me talk a little quieter than I probably would have preferred. Something I'm still working on. I don't want to be too loud or be obnoxious or whatever, but a bunch of people have kind of said, like, could you talk louder? I don't, it's just not, when I'm in the flow of the game, it's not natural for me to do so, but like, you know, I will I will try, but like not at the expense of playing well. But yeah, I'm totally listening to your feedback, and you know, I'm taking that into consideration. Uh, but yeah, that's it for me. No, you don't want these things to go on too long, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.